Welcome back to another episode of Templars Talks, number 26 this time. And yeah, January is past us already. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Oh my god, time flies so fast.
It took ages.
Ages? What?
Well,
for me, it was like over in a snap of a second. Like, oh my gosh.
In a way, but also it took ages.
I am.
It depends.
It depends. I'm happy that the depressive weather zone is a little bit away now.
Yes, we had sun.
Yeah, the sun came back.
We have sun.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it for...
It's the second day of sun.
We haven't seen the sun for weeks right by now. And that is not because we're living in the north of Europe or something. No, that has to do with...
No.
Like, yeah... The clouds deciding
depression.
To obscure any vision that we had, so to say. I tried to do it as black metal creepy as possible in my explanation, but...
Yeah. They should have seen your hand gestures.
Yeah.
But like you said, this grey weather is kind of perfect for doomish, melancholic winter depression music.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing.
And yet, if I looked at my inbox, January was a lot of heavy metal for some reason.
Oh.
Ah.
Huh?
That's what it is sometimes. So
yes,
that is what we have to deal with. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Concerts. I have not been to any in the past 2 weeks. After the 4 that I did in the first episode of the year, I decided to go in hiatus and focus on the server move that we do for our website, which even though we have an IT company taking care of it, it still requires quite some work in arranging things and backing up things and all that sort of stuff. But you have been to concerts, so
yes,
let's hear us all about it.
Yes, well, I've been to Antwerp at Trix, lovely small venue, been around for ages, and they had a show that was also playing in the Netherlands, but that day wasn't very convenient for me, and I don't really love the venue for photographing. So I saw they had another date on a Sunday evening in Belgium, and Antwerp was even closer for me, actually. So I decided to go there, and I had to see a monitor guy, a light guy, which I made a promise to visit at least once a year. So I can tick that off of my yearly to-do. So it was very nice to be there. And we had 3 bands playing. We had the Finnish Bloodred Hourglass.
Ooh. I haven't seen them for quite a while, I think. A couple of years ago, maybe. But I know that they've been growing a lot through the years. So I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think of them?
I quite like them. I think they played very well. It wasn't like sometimes you have a support act that's really a support act, and there's like a lot of how do you say that, like show presence and lack of the same quality.
Yeah. When
you have a support act, but it was not the case. They were like, yeah, I think they stood out to the audience, and there were I think it was nearly sold out, not totally sold out. I think a lot of people never heard of them before. They also asked around, but I didn't really pay attention to how many people were putting up their hands, but I think it was a small few who saw them. But I think they quite enjoyed the band. They played very well. The sound was good.
They're very energetic,
light
usually.
Was a little bit... Yes, the light was a little bit dark. Which kind of fitted their performance, but sometimes with a band I like to see the face sometimes.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And not only silhouettes. But they are very energetic, and I think if I have to describe them, I'm gonna do one of those, try to mention bands that everybody mentions. But I think I would describe them. They are a melancholic death metal, but they're a little bit more. Heavier, I think, and I would say they remind me a lot of Children of Bodom in the way the vocalist is screaming, blurring out the vocals, and I think also musically.
Yeah, I think they're quite brutal for their melodic side to be the main.
They're
thing.
a little bit more brutal, and I think in that way, I think Children of Bodom fits in the vocalist's way of adding to the music. But there's still these darker melodic flows.
Yeah.
So I really like them. They're a little bit more on the heavier side, on the brutal side.
Yeah.
But I think it fitted quite well this evening. So all the bands were a little bit different, and I love that. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the same. So yeah, I think they left a very good impression. I think they enjoyed themselves as well. So that was really nice for me. It was the first time I think I saw them. Yeah, because I haven't been in Finland for ages. Yeah. Well, not totally true, but. So yeah, and then we had Pate from Sweden. Peter.
Wait. I do have a little bit of an anecdote to share with the people. Because people like that,
okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
Something that happened many years ago in a Tuska after party with this band, the Bloodred Hourglass. Well, I think that was in Bekkari. I don't think the place exists anymore. And I remember I went there with one of our other Templars colleagues, and after the show we went standing outside to grasp a bit of air and waiting for everyone to arrive to leave. Up comes the singer to us from that, being, well, a little bit more than slightly drunk. He started trying to hit on our colleague, trying to get her to get along. But we were a bit like, yeah, something is off here. Like, there's something is just not feeling right about this. So at some point she's asking, oh, and where is your girlfriend actually? And he was like, oh, well, she's coming up right now. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we should not do this then, Yeah, there was no mistake in understanding of what was going on. Let's say that. But yeah, drunk Finns can have their moments. And I remember that this one very.
But is he a Finn?
I don't know. But it was in Finland.
I think he's not.
Maybe it was. I don't know if they still have the same even. It was back maybe 10 years ago, not even.
I don't know if they...
Let me check.
Well, anyway, but
That's just something that I always remember when I think about this band. No, that this guy has also always been there. And...
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds very Finnish to me. So. Yeah. That is.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If I was in a band, I wouldn't mind talking to hot guys, so,
Yeah, true. But at that point, there was something going on, and we were just like, something is off about this, This is kind of weird. What was going on? There was like no mistake of what was the intention of the whole thing. That was very, very clear. But yeah. All right. rock and roll lifestyle.
Okay.
I guess. In any case, move on to the next band because I want to hear about them.
So, Pain.
Yes, I like them.
Well, I was thinking, I was thinking of how should I describe Pain to someone that doesn't know them, and I was like, you have these bands. I think Pain is one of those bands you have to see to just enjoy and not, it's more like a sort of a party band. But then don't get me wrong, because tonight I have to see Ailstorm, and I think that's a party band where it's more the party and everything else is swept away. With Pain, however, they're still musicians, but they're just having fun on stage. And I think they're kind of the band, and Peter Tagren with I think this is his solo project, something. He just wants to remind us, you don't have to take metal so serious all the time. There are enough bands that take everything serious, from the images to the storyline to the, it has to fit, it has to be true, it has to be, and Pain is just like, what the fuck, we like this, we do this. If you want to dance us in a disco ball, we'll go out and dance in a disco,
Yeah.
And I love that about Pain. And I think that's what they brought across. So much fun to see, to watch. I mean, I very much dislike a colored loop in lights, that go from yellow to the whole rainbow spectrum. Mm-hmm. But for one song with this band, it just kind of fits to the party mood. It fits the whole band. And they still play good quality of music on stage.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know Peter from Hypocrisy, of course. And that's probably the more serious kind of of project that he is. And then Pain is kind of like for him a different kind of outlet. And I don't know, I always like these songs. They're all there's always a little bit of humor in it.
They're catchy,
Yeah, they're catchy. But I also like sometimes the critical, sarcastic sound on it. I remember they have this song with, what was her name? Annette, from what once was Nightwish-ish, I think. And that was Feed Me With Scandals. Yeah, I mean, that goes literally about people gossiping and how desperate people are to follow up on all the Jews sort of stuff. So I kind of like that when it comes to the music. That's just Peter in general. I think he cannot completely shut that off. But then, of course, I mean, Pain was so famous with that some of the songs that he did. I remember the first song that got so famous was, I think it was Shut Your Mouth that got super famous. Yeah. And after that...
They played that one, of course.
Yeah, and I love the Eleanor Rigby song, the cover of the Beatles that they did. It's always fun. They have so much songs that I always put in the mix at some point. Yeah, but I kind of like that industrial touch. So for me, Pain is always fun to have it in there. So I was surprised that you did not see them before.
I've seen Pain before.
Yeah, I was thinking you must have seen them, right?
Yeah. I think in Rotterdam I've seen them. I think with you as well. I've seen them in Breda.
Yeah.
In Metz I saw them. Yeah. I've seen them.
Yeah.
That was not my first Pain. It was Bloodred Hourglass I saw for the first time.
And anyway, I was really interested in going to see them, but I already had too many gigs in a row, and you just have to at some point choose, because there's more to life than only shows, and I have this server move coming up, so at that point I was like, yeah, let's take a break. I'll catch them the next time.
Yeah.
So, and now you went to see them with this tour, and yeah.
Yes.
But then headlining.
The headlining was Swedish The Halo Effect.
Yeah.
Also my first time. I think.
Okay.
Somehow I've planned to see them before, but sometimes that never worked out.
Yeah.
So this was the first time, but I have to say, the vocalist has a lot of other projects as well.
Yeah.
And somehow, to me, Dark Tranquility is different, but also the same.
Yeah, I understand.
And with that, I mean, when you see his show, the stage is very empty, so the musicians have enough space to walk around. It's the same with Dark Tranquility. He walks around the same because it's him,
Yeah.
But the sound is also the same in a way that the quality of the mixing, but it's the same front of house guy, I believe. So he's just the way he mixes the music. But the production is good, the light is good. So in a way, it kind of feels a little bit the same as Dark Tranquility, because you just you are presented with a good quality band, and the songs are a little bit different. I'm not precisely sure.
I understand what you're trying to say. I think for me it doesn't differentiate too much.
They have their own. Yeah, but for me there is a lot of overlap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I like it. That what they do, it's if it's good quality, more of good quality is never really that much of an issue. But like, is it something that I'm going to run towards? Probably not, because I always like something unique-ish or weird-ish in a sound, and that's, for me, it's not so much. But
so it's not exactly the same, but for me, there was a overlap for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe because they have the sound from a voice guy, maybe because they delivered a sort of same quality of their show. But it was good, and I like that the Halo Effect uses a lot of green in their show. I think they always have been using that, and it's kind of how they stand out, I think. Because if you show me a picture and it's green, and I would say, Halo Effect. So it's recognizable in that sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked the show, and it was fun because there were in the front row there were two kids, I think around 10 years old or something, 9, 10, whatever ish, and it was fun because you saw the band members spotting those like sort of a gap in the front row, and then seeing the kids, and then like they were, giving a little bit of attention to the children at various times, which was really, really nice. And they sort of like, I think they had an awesome experience seeing the show. But it made it really like I don't know how to say it, but a warm show.
Yeah.
Like you
cozy.
Sort of we all felt a part of it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, like a big family feeling sort of thing, which I think made the show really, really nice. And of course they played the most famous songs, and the audience responded great. But I think they did with all the bands. So I think everybody that went to the show got a lot of worth for the money.
That's good.
The bands were really good. I think the quality of the bands was really high this evening. So yeah. Kudos for everyone working on those shows. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I almost feel sorry now that I didn't go.
Yeah. It would have been better if you were there, but, next time.
Yeah. Well, I try not to give in to any FOMO, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And, I think in the future shows that we will have coming up, the Halo Effect will definitely show up somewhere.
Have we never seen Pain in Nighttown? No, not the river one.
Gosh, I can't remember.
In Rotterdam.
Probably. I do remember seeing them at Tuska, but I was not there.
No,
I mean,
I wasn't there.
I think we were both in Tuska at that year, but I was watching them alone that year.
Was I somewhere else?
Yeah, I think you were photographing the other states at that point.
Maybe, but I think I saw Pain and... Or no, that was, I think, Hypocrisy.
I think I remember because I met one photographer there that I'm still good friends with, and that was from that show. So yeah, I remember that always.
I don't think I photographed them at Tuska, but I think I did see at least a bit of them. But catch a glimpse.
All right, let's move on.
Move on,
because we have an album that we were going to talk about, and this is...
Yeah, I was forced.
Yeah, you were forced again. I think I'm kind of some kind of dictator
yes,
now.
Yes, you are.
Oh my gosh. Because I keep forcing you to do things. Oh no. But this was one that you will like, at least the band you like.
Yeah.
And we've had them in our podcast before.
Yes.
So I thought it made sense. And when I was listening to this album, I was totally not realizing that this was a debut album. I'm like, wait, but in my brain they've been around for like a couple of years already. What? Is this a debut? All right.
Yeah, well, they had a self-released album or EP.
I think it's
something.
an EP
they had
because
something
this
of their own.
is mentioned as their debut album.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was probably an EP, and in my mind it was already an album or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's not keep people waiting any longer.
In suspense.
We're talking about Ter Ziele. And their debut.
Yeah, if you have been listening to us from the beginning of the podcast, I think you have heard us talking about this band at least a couple of times. And now they presenting the world with their debut album. Mm-hmm. And it's called Embodiment of Death.
Yes. And I'm curious what we think about it. Or at least what you think about it, because I know what I think.
Well, I was listening to the album, and I have to say that I think, even though I feel it's a really strong album, I do think that this is a band you have to see. To
live! I know, right? That was exactly my thought about this album.
Because you have to, I don't know, you have to disappear in their music or something. They have to swallow you up, and they have to...
It has to march all
I don't
over
know.
you.
You have to feel it. Yeah. You have to watch it. You have to, you know. So that was my first thought.
They're such a live band, I think. And it's really nice if a band that's really good live, that you have something on the side as like an album to sort of get back to. But in the end, you just want to end up going and see it live again.
And I think it's kind of funny because, in a way, I mean funny, is that because they're like a doom band, and they're not moving or running around over the singer is, but they're not like
No, but it's...
You not go see the band because of their stage performance, but somehow you have to be in the audience and you have to feel their music. You have to be taken in the soundscapes. And of course you can have that when you listen to the CD, but in the audience it's just something extra. Yeah. So if everybody loves this album, you definitely have to make it to a show, because I'm telling you, it's going to be even better.
I absolutely agree with that. I cannot...
Not saying that the album is not good, because I
kind of like the album.
Especially, I think I've listened to it 4 times right now, and I have to say, the first time it kind of sounded like one big... You know, their music is kind of... How do you say it? The the vocals are very sharp. I think they switched a vocalist right before the recording, I think. And I've seen them only with their previous singer, but I think this new singer is the vocals are a little bit more sharp. I think it's I don't know how to say it in English. Kind of the band feels like a rock in your stomach.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's good thing. For me, it's like the first couple songs I was like, okay, when it's coming? When is it coming? And then I realized I cannot listen to this music just putting it out somewhere on the play. I have to switch it on my headphones to get into the sound.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you kind of start listening a bit more intensely, and you start to have a bit more focus on the details. And what I really liked about it is that what was it? The first song I was, for me, still quite there to get into it. It's like you listen to it and you're like, okay, what's gonna come? And then the song, The Separation of Body and Soul, it's like you start to feel that thing that they want to bring life. That starts to come into the album also.
And then the third.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's nice. But I.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hi, guys. That was all in my story, and I know.
Sorry.
Trying to make a point here. All right. I'm kind of lost now, but in any way, I feel like from there on you start getting into it deeper. But it is an album that you will probably have to listen a couple times to feel the details coming into it, and is something that requires the listener to put some effort in. You cannot just put it on in the background and get the whole experience of Ter Ziele. No, you have to listen to it with your dedicated interest to it. So that's my recommendation for everyone to listen to that wants to listen to this album.
Yeah. And when you do give it attention, I think that what I also like about the band is how they're playing like this dark doom thing, but I think there is a lot of place for melodic parts as well. There's a little bit of like a sludgy, stonery touch to it with the guitars and the bass, which I really like. And I think the third song of Numinous Reality, it's like 12 minutes long, but it doesn't. If you do give it a good proper spin, it will take you, and you won't get bored within those whole 12 minutes.
No.
And I think it really, for me, I also felt this album really in an emotional way. I think it really kind of made me a little bit sad listening to it.
Okay. For me.
Yeah, there's just this feeling, like I said, the stone on your stomach and a little bit sad. But I think it's really good that they can do it.
Yeah.
But then again, I have to say, live better. And I like it that what you said, the first song is getting you into it. And I think it's kind of funny because it's called As Long As I Breathe.
Yeah.
And then the last song is As Long As I Breathe, I Am to Suffer. And I kind of... It's like, yeah, we know. The first song, we know.
Yeah. For a bit of background, I think they are touching very much to the post kind of sounds, a bit like metal, post-black metal, and they have been also working with the production producer that also worked with bands like Ortega, Correa, and such.
Correa.
I think. Then if you hear that, you can kind of grasp better where this band is coming from. So it's not your easy listening Doom band, as far as you can mention any bands playing Doom being easy. No, it's definitely an album that requires some attention from you.
Yeah. But I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, true. And I think, what was it, 5 songs?
So
it takes
like 40 minutes.
I think 40 or 45 minutes, something like that, on the road. And it's a good one to start with for a debut album, I think.
I really I don't know if I will see them this year again. I have to make sure I do, because now I want more.
I want more. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really curious what it will bring them, because I think they really have a lot of potential.
The problem that I have with it is mainly that I have been seeing this band in small places where everything is cozy and right up in front of you. And if I listen to the album, I think that they probably shift to larger stages.
Soon.
I mean, of course, we saw them also doing their thing on Into the Grave.
Broad daylight.
Yeah, broad daylight, 12 o'clock or something. That's a thing. But for me, I'm wondering if you put them in a bit bigger venue.
If it's the same.
I wonder how that's gonna affect the whole experience. I'm just curious how that's gonna look. So that's one thing to say. All right.
Well, we have to find out.
Yeah, we that's our conclusion. We just have to keep going and see this band live, and people who get enthusiastic about it and want to try it themselves. Of course, the usual places to listen to it is in the Bandcamp. To get an ID, you can probably order the album there as well.
Yes, order the album.
And otherwise, you just simply go to Tartarus Records in the north of the Netherlands and get the album via their channels.
Yes.
Okay. So that
I'm kind of curious if they will end up in my top 5 at the end of the year, because I think it's a really good album. But you never know what's coming the rest of the year.
What other bands I force you to listen?
That as well.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one, because I found some news items to discuss.
Ooh.
And
gossipy news or news?
Not so much gossipy, but something that I'm curious about. The first item that came to me on and it has not to do with metal band per se, but it has to do with an artist called Gracie Abrams. Her fans started a petition on change.org to change the opening act.
Huh?
Yep.
So this artist is going to tour. They have a opening act or a support act, and the fans
started a petition to change the
hate it and start.
I don't know if is because they hate it. I'm not completely sure, because I have also been reading that their fan base kind of is like wanting to sing everything along, and that they were like, "Who is this person? We have never heard. We only have like a short amount of time to get to know the songs." And I was like, when I was reading
that's the thing.
You're supposed
with a support act, Usually it's a way to discover new things.
Yeah. So that was one thing, but in the same context, I saw a news message about some Dutch bands, and one of them is international, Golden Earring. They're gonna have a last farewell show because one of the guys is sick.
I saw that. Yeah.
I think, what was it? Does he have Parkinson or something? I don't know. I've been reading, been catching up too much, but at least he's not going to be able to play much longer. So they have this final farewell show that they're going to do. And there are other artists that are announced for that event brought some people to complain. Because the other artists
Yeah, but I think
are
it's not.
Guus Meeuwis, Maan, and Acta and de Munnik. And people were like, what?
Yeah, but no, wait a second. I think this is not the farewell of the band. Dit is, you have in the Netherlands this thing, Vrienden from Amstel.
Yeah, no, but this actually about the farewell show.
No, this is Vrienden.
No,
this is Vrienden van Amstel.
I can show you the article right now, if I want to. This is about the farewell show. And people are angry because these artists that are mentioned are indeed from the Vrienden van Amstel. And people are like, what the hell are they doing? What's their relationship with, I don't know, the decades of golden earring that has been going on? There's no.
I think that they played their farewell show like last year already.
Yeah, but they do another one. Yep.
Because these artists are mentioned with the Vrienden van Amstel show.
I know.
The Golden Earring is like a special edition of Vrienden van Amstel and not even, I think, because Barry Hay wasn't supposed to be on it, I think, but now he does.
Let me see.
So it's more like a tribute thing, I thought.
No,
I can be
I've been reading about
wrong,
this.
but I thought, that's what I say. I thought it was like the Vrienden van Amstel because the artists are so not.
It's a show they will do. It's called One Last Night. It's gonna be in Rotterdam Ahoy, and it's 27 until 30 of January 2026. That's the goodbye show that they're going to do. And a lot of people were apparently angry about the supports that they have, or supports, I don't know, other artists that were coming. That's, I think there will be direct, Danny Vera, Acta de Munnik, and like, so I think they have been becoming friends with the band at some point during this Amstel Live, and then they were like, oh, just come along for this show. And I was thinking, yeah, but a lot of the fans were complaining about that, apparently. And I don't know. It's for me, it makes sense. I think if you do a farewell show, you want to kind of see something that has been playing a part in the golden earring history for a long time, and but then
which I understand, because that is why I thought there was like a separate thing and not their farewell. This is Vrienden van Amstel Live. It's like one of those bands where you go drink a beer and have a good time, and doesn't matter what band is on stage. They're all days like more like pop rocky bands.
Yeah. I think this was only announced some weeks ago, but people were going mad about it. And in general...
Yeah, because it's supposed to be 1 gig and now it's like 5 evenings.
I don't know. It's just like Slayer. It's just like Slayer. They keep coming back, you know. So...
But yeah.
Yeah. But in any case, fans seem to be demanding different supports nowadays. Is that a thing? Like... Yeah, I mean, I must say, when I was seeing Infected Rain, it was kind of annoying to see bands from completely different genres for me. Not that I mind, because I like those genres. I'm very diverse. But for me, it's like I look at the venue and I see a whole lot of people not giving a crap about this black metal band that joins Infected Rain on tour. And I'm like, this is a waste of their money. Like, they probably bought in on the tour and thinking like, ooh, Infected Rain is a good name, people will like and see us, but they're completely different kind of music, and their fans of Infected Rain don't give a shit about black metal, apparently. So, yeah, I can understand that these fans are like, what am I supposed to do with this band? I'm bored. But I want to be here because I want to have like a good spot for the headliner. Yeah. So...
Yeah. I think there has to be some sort of like mutual thing that, you know, if you had a support band. And I understand sometimes I see bands playing with a totally different support act, like how are they going to play? But then it's all up because of the booker, and they have 2 bands and they have a new band signed up and they put them together and they're on tour together.
True.
the thought, like, you know, we buy this pot and people will see, people will be introduced to this band, and
and often it's
and you know, in the past we went to see bands for the support act.
Most of the case for me,
a lot of times, but you know, but then
cool.
usually it there's a sort of a line into.
Yeah, but I think it's so interesting to see how fans are standing up and demanding something else nowadays. They are so much more mouthy about it. Like, even start a petition. I think that's kind of rude for the support act in any case. But, like, I also know that there's so many young bands that pay a lot of money just to go on tour with a bigger name. So I'm like, I also know that happening, and that headliners use that as a way of funding their tour, basically. But maybe so that's also something people should consider. Like that their band, the band that they want to see, touring is expensive. So the band that they want to see as a headliner might need the funds to go. And if they cannot find something from in the same genre that wants to pay up the money to join them, they have to go beyond that to make their dreams come true and be able to come to your city in the middle of nowhere to play a show. You know, that's just how it is. But
well, I was thinking we went to see bands as a support act because the tickets were like €12 or something. Now I saw a band playing in a small club, and then not even the like capacity 300 people, but you pay €38 for a band that has no international name, €38, and then you're seeing two other bands as a support act, and then I can understand, you know, I'm paying €38.
Yeah, they want to have some worth of their money, indeed, and not just some random.
Please give me something in the line of the band I'm going to see, and not like something completely, you know, pop music and black metal, which I've also seen. And then. I can understand. I think it has a lot of balls for the audience to do so, but I can understand a little bit, you know.
Yeah. In the
touring is getting really expensive, and the tickets are getting really expensive. But at the same time, I can understand why the audience is
speaking up. Yeah.
Maybe speaking up because, you know.
True, but on the other side, I did found that petition kind of rude because
that's what I say. It's also kind of rude, but
in any case, I found this remarkable, the couple of items put together, and thinking also about my own experience of seeing that recently, and thinking like, okay, I understand where it's coming from, but I can understand the fans as well for their opinion and such. Okay, another item for something to share shortly. James Shever of Core has launched a perfume. What about that? I mean, we've discussed interesting merch before, but like
what person from what band? I didn't.
James from Core.
Korn.
Yeah. And I know all these celebrities are doing perfumes, like Ariana Grande, whatever, all these famous names. They do their perfume. So this is like, okay, interesting. And I'm all about perfume. That's one thing I really enjoy to wear. I'm not really a makeup person, so I always wear perfume. But I'm like, I wonder how many men would buy that perfume. Because it's obviously for male. So, I don't know. I mean,
I was Googling this because I was thinking who is these James from Korn, because I can remember two band members but not the James, so I had to Google. But it opens with an article that says, "You want to know something I can honestly say has never crossed my mind? wanting to smell like a rock star. But the only thing I think of when smelling like a rock star, I'm not gonna run to the store to buy a bottle of expensive fragrance.
That, and also, have you smelled the average man in a metal concert? It's usually sweat, alcohol, and
beer.
A little bit more sweat.
Exactly. But I was thinking, it's not new, because I had to think that the Solstafir guy is also selling his perfume thing. But then it's not to smell like an artist. It's like he lives in, what is it? Iceland. And he wants to bring, that smell. Because their music is kind of soundscaping feeling. I can understand that, but I don't know.
I just found it an interesting take on merch to do it like that. For me, it wouldn't be something I would be running for per se, but then again, I am not running for men perfume. I prefer the more feminine smells usually. But then again, I also appreciate it when a guy does put a little bit of a smell to it. It takes
a little bit of balls, I think.
There's men who do that, and I kind of appreciate that. I can enjoy that, so to say. So maybe I should go and try to find it and see if it smells sweat or actually something nice. Maybe we should try to find their promoter and see if they are willing to send us something for some honest review in our podcast.
Well, it says here that there is nothing talked about how it's going to smell. And even if it's like a men's perfume or maybe even, how do you call it?
Unisex or something.
No gender.
Yeah, unisex.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it's an interesting one that caught my attention this week, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really, like, I enjoy perfumes, and I never really bought a perfume just because a celebrity has stamped her name on the jar, to be honest. But for me, it's always like I need to smell it, and if I like it, I'll take it. But good, I guess, if it sells, good for him. Yeah. So that. What's next for us?
Take a breath. What's next? I don't know. I haven't been reading the news.
No.
Actually. So, I don't know.
Alright. I have no knowledge of any base stories this week, so probably.
No, sorry.
No, so then our happy stories. What makes us happy? This week, the Ikigai.
This week. I'm still alive. I made it to February.
Alive, yeah. I'm happy about the sun.
Me too.
I am happy.
I would like spring to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I can go see some bands tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy that I will make some progress in the server move that we're doing, because that was a bit of a hassle, so to say, but everything is going a little bit towards my likings right now. So that means we'll have a bit more opportunities for our website to improve. I am happy with people reaching out to me about some things to work on in the future. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's all not very concrete for me to tell you yet, but that will maybe come in a future episode. Yeah, a lot of happiness, nothing in particular.
A lot of happiness.
I got some albums that I like, though. So maybe that's also making me a bit happy, but I kind of kept them for my playlist section, so... Okay, let's see.
So what's been on your playlist, Sabina?
The album of Dawn of Solace. It's dropped in my inbox, and I was like, oh, I need to check that one out. And yeah, I like it. I mean, I like pretty much all of the projects that Tuomas does. For some reason, we vibe. Whatever he does vibes with me. But I think what I really like about this album, I mean, the vocalist is Mikko Heikkilä. And I have grown so fond of his vocals through the years. I always liked them. When I first saw him with Cinnamore, but also with the Black Sun Aeon, where he jumped in. I saw was it last summer, I think, with Kaunis Kuulamaton, where I was like, whoa, wait. I mean, I knew you could do this clean, but like, you're doing also very, very impressive, harder, raw vocals, you know? So that was always for me a bit like, okay, interesting. Cool. So yeah, when this album came in, I was like, I need to listen to this again. Like, I like his vocals. I probably shouldn't spill too much further because I'm probably gonna write a review about it. But for people who expect the same as kind of Before the Dawn, no, that's not. That's never been. It's definitely something separate. And the voice of Mikko is just setting it apart that much. And yeah, it totally lightened up my week to have that one in. The album is called Application Vortex, and I think it's out on Valentine's Day, so I have to even hurry to write something about it. Spill that with you guys. Alright, what more was on my list? I have Fatal Embrace. And Fatal Embrace is a Swedish formation that I know some of the members from their previous projects. This one was sent to me by themselves, even though I also get stuff from their label. I think they did the promotion themselves. It's a release of an album that I written like decades ago, but never really brought out. So I was listening to it. They kind of re-recorded it and still give a very modern sound to it. Yeah. If you're more interested, check the website for the full review, I would say. Very nice. And then I went check in on a couple of old bands because they just dropped by my head for no reason. One of them being the Vincent Black Shadow. Like, for if somebody even remembers them, but yeah. Bit of catchy, poppy kind of sounds, and I don't know why that song suddenly got into my head. I was like, okay, let's go on YouTube and listen back to that someday. Then I had Hacktivist because I don't know, I kind of had some memories of their amazing live show that they did in Helsinki during a festival there, which I attended. They were responsible for the wildest mosh pit I've ever seen in a Finnish club, so definitely good for them. Yeah, always nice to catch up on it and vibe with it. Then I went to Novembre. Yes, something completely different, why not? An instrumental vibe. My taste goes all over the place, if you haven't mentioned that yet.
Mine too, so.
And to swing it around once again, I went to Diablo Swing Orchestra. Like, oh gosh, these Swedish people. I haven't seen them for ages, but yeah, I was just liking their chaos and I was in that mood, so let's go. And the last one I was checking out, Berlial. It's a kind of black metal kind of formation from Italian label, and they were kind of promoted to me as sounds like Bloodred Hourglass, which is one of my favorite black metals formations. So I was like, I gotta check that out. Maybe we'll do something more with them. We'll see. I have to think about whether I want to do maybe an interview or something, and then see if they also want to do that. Because Italians, that's always a bit of a language cap, so we have to see if they're up for that. English is hard for many Italians, so they don't always want to be like having a recording camera on them when they have to speak it. So let's see if that eventually works out. We'll see. And then, what was on your list?
On my list, well, Ter Ziele, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of Ter Ziele, I also somehow I went listening to Callisto.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
A long time ago. For those who don't know them. Also a little bit of a darky soundscaping band from Finland.
Yeah.
And I think they last year they released their 20th anniversary of their debut album. I haven't heard from them actually, although they re-released this album. So yeah, I've been listening to that one, mainly the album Noir. I quite like that one. I've also been listening to Ter.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to see them tonight, and it has been ages. So I thought, let's dig them up.
Refresh your memories.
Refresh my memories. Of course, I knew all the songs like Hold the Heater in My Eye.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, you have to start a petition that you need more time, right?
Huh. Well, maybe we can start a petition to take away one band now.
Yeah, people are really trying
tonight.
People are really trying that for Into the Grave, but that never works.
What?
To get Ailstorm out. Well, not necessarily a petition, but they definitely seem to try to put that in the comments.
Okay. Well, it's just I don't know. It's not my band.
No.
But so I've been listening to Ter. Yeah. What can I say about it? They're still nice. They still have. I like their guitar solos. And I think last year there was this band, or was it even the year before? There was this Swedish band, Moon, whatever was it?
Moonsoro?
It was a stone. What?
Moonsoro?
No.
They're not Swedish, but...
Of course. Purple CD. Purple CD. Of course, why can't I remember it right now? Anyway, there was this band. I think they play kind of a stonerish music, and there was this kind of a guitar solo that reminded me so much about Ter. So it's kind of funny. And I've been listening to The Doors, and Atticus Chimps, Australian two-piece band that recently kicked her drummer out. There's a new one, so don't know, but still the album sounds really nice. So
yeah, so much on our playlist this week.
Yeah.
Well. And now I have to think about all I'm going to listen for reviewing again.
Yeah, I'm going to think about what to wear and what cameras to bring. Because I'm leaving in a bit for Tilburg for Pagan Fest. So when you check into the next episode, I might
have some more words.
Probably tell you something. Yeah.
All right. We're already at the end. Time flies.
I think.
And now...
Time flies when you're having fun.
Don't really have too much concrete plans for the upcoming 2 weeks, so I don't even know whether I'm going to places or not. So...
Me neither.
At least you have something for tonight, but...
tonight, yeah. But other than that, I don't have plans for February.
Okay.
Well, there are things I would like to go, but they're not plans.
Yeah, I have a short list. Maybe something in Sweden even. I'm not sure yet. I mean, I have like 700 invites in my email for that band, but like I never listened to them before, so I don't even know if I want to go and see it. But they have a lot of promotion going on, so they really want you to go and experience that band. But I'm not going to spoil it because I don't want to bring up expectations if I cannot.
No.
Then I feel forced to go there. I have not made up my mind yet.
I can understand.
So. All right then. I think it's time for us to say goodbye. And let's first remind people to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. So you can always be up to date of our interviews and vlogs and podcasts.
To leave nice comments.
To do like comments at least. We like that. Yeah. Do a thumbs up if you want to. That helps us in our algorithm. Let us know what band you want us to feature. That's also a good thing to know for us. And yeah, of course, you can also go to Instagram. You can go to our Facebook. We nowadays also have a Blue Sky account because people don't really like Meta anymore. So if you feel like I don't want to support Meta and the American people associated with it, we're also there to tell you about our adventures, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to deal with Meta. And yeah, I also have a Snapchat for that, but I don't know. Are people still using Snapchat? I don't really understand the purpose of it so much. So
I never had Snapchat.
No, but I figured I hear a lot about it, so maybe make an account. We're there. We have a couple of people following us, so if you want to see how that goes or communicate with us directly, feel free to go there and follow us or whatever it's called in Snapchat. Yeah, so that being said, all your new opportunities to follow us are out there. It's time to say goodbye. Bye!
I think so too. Bye!